Are you a senior planning to travel after 70? Watch these 5 hidden dangers that no one tells you about before you book your trip. For many people over 70, the dream of travel doesn't fade. If anything, it grows stronger. Because now, with the freedom of retirement and the wisdom of years, the world seems more beautiful than ever. But there's a question we often avoid asking, not because we don't care, but because we don't want the answer. Is traveling at this age still safe? And if it isn't, what are the risks we're pretending not to see? This video is not about saying no to travel. It's about looking honestly at what travel becomes as we get older. Not with fear, but with clarity, with love, with deep respect for the life we've lived and the one we still want to live. So before you pack your bags or help a loved one plan their next big adventure, I invite you to spend a few quiet moments with me. There may be truths here that could change how you approach your next journey. Truths no one talks about, but everyone over 70 should know. If you find value in honest, heartfelt conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a story that matters. All right, let's begin. Number 1. When the body speaks louder than the itinerary. There was a man named Lucas, 81, widowed, lived in a quiet town in New Hampshire where the winters were sharp and the summers kind. After his wife passed, he began collecting travel brochures. Mexico, Greece, Vietnam. It wasn't about running away, it was about feeling something again. His daughter was hesitant. "Dad, are you sure? That's a long flight. What if something happens?" Lucas smiled in that way older men do when they've seen enough life to be stubborn. "Something's always happening, sweetheart. I'd rather live while it's happening." So he booked the trip. He got his shots, bought a new suitcase, and read every page of his itinerary 3 times. But just 12 hours after landing in Chiang Mai, he collapsed in the hotel lobby. The diagnosis? A combination of jet lag, dehydration, and a heart rhythm issue he'd never known he had. And suddenly, the trip wasn't about adventure anymore. It was about survival. The truth is, our bodies change with age in ways that aren't always visible. The heart beats slower to recover, blood vessels stiffen, and the immune system, once sharp and alert, now works like an old dong, slower to bark. A flight that used to be long but fine at 50 can trigger blood clots or arrhythmias at 75. A meal skipped because of jet lag may cause a blood sugar crash you never recover from. And sometimes it's not even the illness itself that's dangerous. It's the delay. In a strange place, unfamiliar with the health system, that delay can be deadly. You see, at home, we know where the hospital is. We know the name of our pharmacist. Our medical records are a click away. But abroad, even a minor condition, a cough, a cramp, a skipped heartbeat, can unravel fast when care isn't immediate or familiar. Some seniors travel believing that good health will carry them through, and many times it does. But hope is not a substitute for preparation. We don't say this to scare you. We say this to protect you. There's still time to explore the world, but it has to be done with respect for your body, your limits, and the unpredictable nature of health after 70. So if travel is on your mind, take this as your first checkpoint. Have you talked to your doctor about the trip? Do you understand your medications and have extras packed? Are you insured in the country you're going to, and does that insurance cover emergency evacuations? Because traveling at this age isn't about if something will go wrong, it's about how ready you are when it does. Let Lucas's story be a reminder. Courage is good, but preparation is better. If this chapter gave you something to think about, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you have questions or just want us to know you're still watching, leave a comment below. You can simply write one. That small gesture means the world to us. Number 2, why infections and digestive illnesses hit seniors harder. While traveling, Amelia had always been careful. She washed her hands religiously, avoided street food, and never drank anything that didn't come with a sealed cap. She was 78 when she finally said yes to a cruise her neighbors had been inviting her on for years. "Just the Caribbean," they said. "You'll love the breeze, the buffets, the music." And for the first 3 days, she did. But by day 4, she was in her cabin, curled under a thin blanket, too weak to stand, vomiting, fever, and a stomach that felt like it was trying to flip inside out. The ship's doctor said it was likely norovirus, highly contagious, common on cruises. Amelia was quarantined for the rest of the trip. She missed every island, every sunset, every memory she'd hoped to make. What surprised her most wasn't the illness itself, but how hard it hit her. "I've had food poisoning before," she said, "but nothing like this." That's because as we age, our immune systems lose their edge. The cells that once acted like bodyguards, fast, alert, aggressive, are slower to react, less effective at containing threats. It means the same bug that gives a 30-year-old a mild stomachache could knock a 75-year-old into the hospital. Airports, airplanes, bus stations, even hotel lobbies, all are breeding grounds for viruses and bacteria. These are high-touch, low-sanitization zones, full of germs your body has never met before. Now imagine your body is no longer training for those fights like it used to. And it's not just airborne threats. It's what we eat, what we drink, and what we touch. Tap water in some countries can carry unfamiliar bacteria. Even raw vegetables washed in that water, innocent-looking salad, herbs on your plate, can be risky. Food that's too spicy, too oily, or simply different from what your stomach is used to can cause problems that don't just pass, they linger. For seniors, these digestive upsets aren't just inconvenient, they can be dangerous. Dehydration sets in faster. Recovery takes longer. And in a foreign country where hospital access isn't guaranteed, that combination can be terrifying. Even over-the-counter remedies aren't always readily available. Medication names change. Labels are in unfamiliar languages, and dosages can vary. So what's the solution? Preparedness. Bring a small, well-stocked medical kit, antidiarrheals, rehydration salts, fever reducers. Stick to bottled or filtered water, always. Avoid buffets in warm climates. The longer food sits out, the more risk it carries. And yes, carry hand sanitizer, disinfect wipes, and maybe even a mask for crowded flights or train rides. This isn't paranoia, it's wisdom. Amelia never thought a simple virus would wipe her out for 2 weeks. But now she tells everyone, don't assume your stomach can handle what it used to. Respect your body and pack a ginger tea. Travel can still be joyful, but for it to be safe, it must also be intentional. If this chapter gave you new insight, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you have thoughts or just want to let us know you're still watching, leave a comment below. Simply write 2. Every comment helps us reach more people who need this. Number 3, the toll of travel fatigue and why recovery isn't what it used to be. Roger was 74 and proud of it. Every morning he stretched in the living room while jazz played softly from an old stereo. He ate clean, walked daily, and said things like age is just a number. So when his son invited him to Japan for a 10-day adventure, Roger said yes without blinking. I can keep up, he told himself. I've always been tough. The first sign of trouble came after the flight. 12 hours in economy left him with stiff knees and a foggy head. But he powered through, eager not to slow anyone down. By the 3rd day, he was struggling to keep up with the group. His legs ached, his thoughts felt scattered, and the local cuisine, though beautiful, wasn't sitting right. He began skipping meals, skipping walks, and by day 5, he skipped the tours altogether. Roger came home feeling worse than when he left. It took nearly a month before his energy returned. We like to think of travel as refreshing, and it can be. But for older adults, the energy cost is higher than it used to be. Travel disrupts everything our bodies depend on for stability: sleep, hydration, routine, and comfort. Jet lag doesn't just make you groggy, it messes with your internal clock. Seniors whose circadian rhythms are already more fragile can feel the effects much longer than younger travelers. A good night's sleep once fixed everything. At 40, one nap could restore a whole day. At 70 or older, recovery is slower. Sleep cycles are lighter, more fragmented, and less restorative. And when the body is tired, everything else suffers. Balance becomes less stable, memory fades a little, reflexes dull, even digestion slows down. All of that combines with the physical toll of walking through airports, lifting suitcases, navigating unfamiliar streets. Even sitting too long on a plane can trigger swelling, muscle pain, or in serious cases, blood clots. Let's not forget food. When you're traveling, mealtimes are unpredictable. The food is unfamiliar. You might skip meals or eat too quickly. Dehydration becomes common, especially during flights where cabin air is dry and water intake is low. And yet, so many seniors feel pressure to keep up, to walk at the same pace, eat the same things, follow the same schedule as they did years ago. But aging isn't defeat. It's a call for adaptation. The solution isn't to avoid travel, it's to travel differently. Break up long flights with layovers so you can move your body. Choose direct flights during the day to limit fatigue. Plan rest days into your itinerary, not just sightseeing. Stay hydrated, pack healthy snacks, know when to say no. And most of all, listen to your body without guilt. Roger used to think needing a break meant weakness. Now he sees it as wisdom. I didn't travel all the way to Tokyo just to prove something, he says. Next time, I'll go slower and enjoy more. Because the goal of travel after 70 isn't speed. It's meaningful experience without the cost of recovery. If this chapter resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you're still here with us, leave a comment below. Just write 3 to let us know you're watching. Number 4, how a simple misstep can change everything. Isabella had always considered herself steady. At 79, she still took evening walks, still watered her plants barefoot, still reached for the top shelf without thinking twice. When her friends invited her to tour southern Spain, she said yes in a heartbeat. They planned every detail, from flamenco shows to cobblestone strolls through centuries-old villages. But on the third night, as they left a small tapas bar, Isabella caught her foot on a shallow step carved into the sidewalk. She wasn't rushing. She wasn't distracted. She simply didn't see it in the dim light. She fell sideways, hard, landing on her hip. The pain was immediate and sharp. Locals rushed to help, but she knew before the ambulance arrived, something was broken. She was right. Her hip had fractured. The rest of the trip was canceled. Surgery followed. She returned home weeks later in a wheelchair, her confidence shaken more than her bones. Falls are one of the most dangerous yet underestimated risks of travel after 70. It's not that older adults are clumsy, it's that the environments we travel through often aren't designed with aging bodies in mind. Historic cities have uneven streets. Cruise ships have slick floors. Hotels may have poor lighting or hard-to-see steps. And in unfamiliar places, we pay less attention to our footing, distracted by sights, sounds, or schedules. The body after 70 responds differently to trauma. Bones are more brittle, recovery is slower. What used to be a minor bruise can now mean weeks of rehab or a permanent loss of mobility. And while at home, you may have handrails, well-lit paths, and someone to help. Abroad, you may be left to navigate without any of those supports. Add in fatigue from jet lag, hunger, dehydration, or unfamiliar shoes, and the risk multiplies. Isabella didn't fall because she was careless. She fell because travel places us in situations our bodies are no longer fully equipped for. And like her, many seniors don't realize it until it's too late. So what can be done? Start with awareness. Choose travel destinations that are accessibility friendly. Avoid walking at night in poorly lit or uneven areas. Wear shoes that prioritize support, not style. Use a cane or walking stick without shame if needed. Take your time, even if others are moving fast, and don't push yourself to do everything. Rested bodies are steadier bodies. When you're tired, you're more likely to miss a step, misjudge a slope, or lose balance. Isabella's story has a quiet ending. She recovered, but she no longer walks without assistance. She still travels, but only where she knows the paths are flat and safe. She says, "I used to chase charm, now I chase comfort, and honestly, I enjoy it more." Travel is still possible after 70, but it must be rooted in realistic expectations, safe environments, and honest self-assessment. If this chapter gave you something to reflect on, please subscribe to the channel. And if you're still here with us, leave a comment below. Just write 4 to let us know you're watching. Number 5, the financial pitfalls that can ruin a dream trip. George had been planning his trip to the Mediterranean for over a year. He was 82, sharp as ever, and had saved for this since retiring. Every detail was organized, from flights to accommodations to a private walking tour of the Amalfi Coast. What he didn't plan for was the phone call he received the night before departure. A routine checkup had uncovered a heart arrhythmia. Nothing urgent, his doctor said, but they advised against flying until further tests were done. So George canceled the trip. He expected some loss, maybe a small penalty, but he never imagined just how much he'd lose. The airline didn't refund the ticket. The hotel charged a full cancellation fee. The tour company refused a credit. In the end, he lost nearly $4,000. It wasn't just the money that stung, it was the realization that one unforeseen event had unraveled everything. Travel after 70 doesn't only carry physical risk, it can come with serious financial vulnerability. Most seniors assume that if something goes wrong, their regular insurance will take care of it. But many health plans don't cover medical treatment abroad, and even fewer will pay for emergency evacuations, which can cost tens of thousands of dollars if you need to be airlifted back home. Beyond health emergencies, there's the risk of trip cancellations, delays, and disruptions. You might feel great when booking the flight, but months later, a small health issue could make travel unsafe. Without comprehensive trip insurance, many seniors are left absorbing the full cost of a canceled journey. Then there's a quieter risk. One few people want to admit: scams. Seniors are often targeted by fraudulent travel deals, fake websites, and too-good-to-be-true offers. Some fall victim to phishing emails pretending to be airlines. Others are overcharged by local drivers, tricked by fake guides, or pressured into buying unnecessary protection plans. Scams don't always come in the form of obvious deception. Sometimes they're just subtle gaps in understanding, like not realizing you've paid double for a cab, or accidentally giving your credit card number to someone untrustworthy. And when you're in a new place, possibly tired, possibly confused by a language barrier, these mistakes become easy to make. So what can you do? Before booking any trip, check your current health insurance policy. Consider investing in solid travel insurance that covers both medical emergencies and trip cancellations. Only book through verified, well-known companies. Be cautious with unsolicited calls or emails, even if they seem legitimate. Avoid carrying large amounts of pictures. Keep photocopies of all travel documents and cards, stored separately from the originals. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, walk away. George never rebooked his trip to Italy, but he tells his friends, "If I had spent a little more protecting the trip, I'd still have the option." Losing the money hurt, but losing the dream, that stayed with me longer. At this stage in life, peace of mind is worth more than risk. Every decision, from which city to visit, to what shoes to wear, to how you pay, should be rooted in protecting your health and your resources. If this chapter helped you feel more prepared, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. And if you're still watching, just drop a comment below. Write 5 so we know you're here. It truly means a lot. Conclusion. Maybe the most important part of traveling after 70 isn't the destination at all. Maybe it's how we prepare, how we listen to our bodies, how we honor the season we're in, rather than pretending we're still in the one that came before. We've walked through the quiet risks, the ones that don't make it into brochures. But underneath those risks lies something deeper. The reminder that your life is precious. Not just the places you go, but how you feel while you're there. Not just the photos you take, but the strength you carry home. So no, this video is not here to discourage you. It's here to encourage you to travel differently, to travel wisely, to choose comfort over chaos, peace over pressure, meaning over motion. You still deserve joy, you still deserve adventure, but you also deserve to feel safe, steady, and supported wherever your feet may go. If this message touched you in any way, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next story that might speak to your heart. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. May your days be full of light, your travels gentle, and your heart always curious. Take care, and I hope to see you again soon.